they're one to watch this year, Chelsea, and they're always going to be because we've put new manager, loads of new players. It's just such an unknown quantity, but they're going to be fun to watch this year for sure. And I mean, so are Liverpool, but I feel like Liverpool is going to be, for Liverpool fans, probably not as fun, especially if they don't end up with a 6. And
they will bring someone in, I'm sure, but I don't know. Are the cracks showing around Liverpool a little bit? Like, it seems like they're missing out on players coming in. Like, you saw Salah going off having a strop. Like, whilst they were great at periods yesterday, and like they have that really high energy midfield again, which is is the best Liverpool that we've seen in years. There was still just kind of like this defensive fragility. There's too many gaps. Like, there are just some cracks there. When Chelsea started getting into it, it just didn't look like they knew how to respond. No. But maybe having that kind of proper number 6 in there, they are missing that player. I keep saying they should go for Palhinha from Fulham. Like, I know he doesn't kind of fit the the young, exciting player mold anymore, but he was arguably the best defensive midfielder in the league last year.
He was fantastic.
Like in a Fulham team that isn't full of great players, he was outstanding. And I think if you have a player, him or a player like him, as that rock in front of that defense, allowing Trent to kind of move up into midfield a little bit of protection to the defense. I mean, he's a big bloke. He's a threat from set pieces as well. That would be great, and it would allow a player like Bajcetic or something to kind of get minutes behind him and come through and get game time. Whereas, going for another really young kind of, I don't want to say unproven, because I think Lavia and Caicedo had really good seasons last year, but they're still young. They're going to have an erratic season. They're not going to be the most reliable. And a lot of that Liverpool team are like, they're still in their prime years. Like, you got Van Dijk and Salah, who are in their 30s now. Like, they want to win some more. It's kind of like the spot that United are in, but at a further level. Like, they've got players who want to be winning now, who need to be winning now, because they ain't got 5 years.
No.
So, like, you need that finished article a little bit. And I think he'd just wrap everything up really nicely in a bow for him.
It's interesting you said about the cracks starting to appear. I don't know if you caught the pre-match coverage for the game tonight, but Carragher was talking about.
I didn't. I was traveling home, unfortunately.
So Carragher was talking about the whole. He called it a mess. I think there's no other way to describe it really. This sort of approach of not being like £5 million under Southampton's valuation of Lavia, then going in for the 110 mil bid of Caicedo. Then going in and bidding 60 million for Lavia, which is now 10 million over what Southampton's valuation was, and now he's likely to go to Chelsea as well. And I think Carragher kind of hit the nail on the head, really. Like, since Michael Edwards left Liverpool, I don't think their recruitment has been as much of a, like, it's not been as much of a bullseye. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like when Edwards was there,
where so many of their signings were nail on the head every time, and I think that's...
You can hear the F1 out my window, by the way. I can only apologise.
Yeah, who's in P1?
Yeah.
What strategy they're running? What was I saying? They had so many kind of like nailed on signings for quite a long period of time, and it's almost impossible to maintain, because the hit rate on transfers is about 50-50. Like,
of course,
there's videos that go into it in much better detail on TIFO and stuff like that. I'm not going to bore you with that right now, but like, it's like a 50% hit rate, and for so long there was like, maybe one or two signings that didn't quite work out, like Naby Keita or something. Like, it's a 50 million midfielder that's
of course.
But United have been doing that for years. Like, we've been signing players and letting them leave for nothing for ages. So.
But I think Carragher's point more was not necessarily the hit rate of signings, but I think just in terms of the organisation and the infrastructure and the sort of plan that goes into it. Edwards left, new guy came in, and then went after a season, I think. Then another guy came in, I think also went. Now they've got this new dude in from Germany, whose name I can't remember, but I think he's only here for the summer. This is what Carragher was saying. If I'm wrong, blame Carragher, not me. Like, there doesn't really seem to be much of a plan. Like, they, again, I don't think they necessarily knew that Henderson and Fabinho were going to go this season. But they were both getting, like, Henderson especially was getting on a little bit. Fabinho was ropey last year, like, wasn't very good. It didn't really feel like, I mean, again, Liverpool knew they needed midfielders going into this season. And I'm struggling to sort of see that how they've ended up in a situation where, like, the two names they've come up with are Lavia and Caicedo, and they've cocked it up so badly they're going to end up with neither of them. Like, one of them would have been fine. Like, and if they were going to chuck in 110 million for Caicedo, where was it at the start of the window? Like, unless Caicedo and his owners have just messed them around and gave him false indication that he wanted to join. But like, where was that? Why chase Lavia the entire summer and then not match the valuation at all when it's like a £5 million difference?
Yeah.
Like, if you think he's the guy and you want to be challenging for the league this year and challenging for trophies, pay the extra. I know it's easier said than done. Pay the extra $5 million and go get him.
It's for Liverpool. It's $5 million's not a lot, is it? And,
no.
And there was, like you're saying, like they knew they needed to strengthen the midfield. And the way I looked at it, like obviously the McAllister and Szoboszlai signings are really good. Like you can't sniff at those. You got a World Cup and one of the best attacking central midfielders in Europe. Like I say, he was phenomenal yesterday. But you still knew that you had aging and out of form players. You got Thiago who can't stay fit, and you're already losing James Milner and Naby Keita on a free, as well as Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. So your midfield options are already you're already behind where you were before. So I don't know why they didn't go out and get that player that they knew they needed. And like you say, just fighting around over $5 million, it's like
it doesn't even feel like they've identified, like, apart from Lavia. I don't like. Was Caicedo even a part of the plan, or was it just, oh, Chelsea are going for our guy, so we're going to go for their guy? Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel like there's a real plan of intent there from Liverpool this summer.
Feels more Spurs than Liverpool.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And as far as, like, I mean, someone asked the question on the Twitter thread earlier, like, who do Liverpool go for now? I mean, you know, I'm not a scout with a wealth of football knowledge. I don't know. Like, the only one that can maybe come to mind is like Sangare from PSV.
Yeah,
I don't know whether he's a natural six or not, or even fits the Liverpool team. I'm not too sure. But like I mean, there's those types of midfielders are such a high commodity now. You're seeing the prices they're all going for. Declan Rice 105 million. Caicedo 110. Like Palhinha was being quoted at like 80 million by Fulham. Like, those positions are really important, and that's why teams are desperate to keep onto them.
Yeah.
So I don't know what Liverpool do if they don't get a six, and I'm sure they will.
There are options out there, definitely. Like you say, Sangare's like been a player that a lot of kind of internet scouts have been screaming about for years.
Of course.
And like from what I've seen of him, which is like admittedly little. It's mostly like clip stats and like the odd European game that I'm able to catch. He does look great, and he looks like one of those players that could be a great kind of, you know, a six. But you don't know if he's going to do it in the Prem. You've got Palhinha there, who's going to cost about what Lavia was going to cost, maybe like 10 million more for a Prem-proven player who's settled in. He'd be great. There's talks that Tchouameni, you know, wants out of Real Madrid, or Real Madrid are happy to let him go.
That got shut down today. I'm pretty sure. I think.
Was that shut down today?
I think Romano. This is apparently news. Liverpool want Tchouameni. Real Madrid don't want to sell him. Tchouameni doesn't want to leave. And I was like, that's a great update, Fab.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he just like retweeted something from last year, right?
yeah, not like Romano, is it?
But I mean, they've got to pick someone up, because if they don't, like they are
in trouble.
Not in when we say trouble. I don't mean like trouble of going down. I'd feel like there's going to be far too many games where they just can't keep a hold of it, and a team will find those gaps like Chelsea did. And like I'd say Chelsea bossed the game for at least half of it. Like, it was Chelsea were in control of the game more than Liverpool were, and there was a period where it was pretty 50-50. Is that what I'd say?
Yeah. I think by in trouble, I just mean I think they'll have a similar season to last year. Just massively inconsistent. Picked apart quite easily by teams who can figure out. I thought McAllister was really good yesterday, but he's just not a six. Yeah. And it's just a bit of a waste of him being there, I think, especially in that type of game. Maybe against a Luton you can play him there, because you'll have 80% possession of the ball.
And you can play him there if you've got a double pivot. Like, he's not a destroyer, he's not a ball winner. He's a great passer of the ball. But it's not his role, is it really?